So yeah, I'm here, I think. Can everybody hear me?
Okay, we are ready for a countdown.
Okay, I'm not, but let's go and let's just try this.
Oh,
Alright.
okay. I mean, we do have extra time. Do you need
Nah,
5
it's
minutes?
fine.
Ah, okay.
Let's get this over and done
Oh,
with.
all right, I'll start at 5 and then like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, that'll do.
Okay. All right. Okay. Last run of the night, finale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Yeswally1 and welcome to Spyro Enter the Dragonfly 100%. In this category I will be grabbing all 7,000 gems and 90 dragonflies from the homeworld in the 8 levels in this game. If you don't know what Spyro Enter the Dragonfly is, it is the 4th console Spyro and the 6th Spyro overall. It was released in 2002 by Equinox and Check 6 Games, and is absolutely awful. So I'm going to be starting off with a very short bit of homeworld movement here just to get the first Dragonfly, and that will be the requirement to get into the first level. One thing I'm going to be doing a lot is text mashing, and in fact I'm going to be doing a recently discovered tech by myself called hyper mashing, where I'll be spamming A and Y, and it will skip text boxes extremely quickly.
Hey, it's Toons!
So unlike 90% of Ripto, where you end up getting 3 Dragonflies before doing Dragonfly Dojo, in 100% I'm only getting 1, because the Flame Challenge is faster to be done later on. And hence the Hunter Orb, Dragonfly is a lot quicker to do later on as well. So now I'm in the first level of the game. This is Dragonfly Dojo. It's a very oriental area, and it's also a sort of resting ground for baby dragonflies.
Hey,
And the main quest of this level is to free the 4 dragons. Is it 4 or is it 5? It's 5. The 5 dragons that are encased in stone by the Riptocs. What are the Riptocs? They are Ripto's minions, who act just the same as the Rhinocs from Spyro 3 and the Gnorcs from Spyro 1. When you defeat them, they drop an enemy. Not an enemy, a gem. Sorry, I'm probably gonna make a few errors like that in the early game, like when my brain just wakes up. And yeah, like the 2 collectibles that we'll be collecting throughout the run is gems and dragonflies. And then once we have 7,000 of them and 7,000 gems and 90 dragonflies, I will then be fighting a lengthened Ripto fight compared to the one in any percent early Ripto and any percent, where there will be 3 phases. So recently I was actually doing a few runs of this. I've been doing a few runs of this, and I improved my world record from a 256 to a 246. So I might be going quite below the estimate in this run. Provided I don't miss a gem. Which is definitely easy in this game, given the amount of 1s and 2s there are. There we go. A movement type that I'll be using quite a bit is the jump hover. I'm definitely using it a lot here, because by using the jump hover I can do jumps which otherwise are inaccessible or too high for Spyro to make. So I just use that to get an extra little boost. The frame savers with the raiding. Jeez, 21 people. Hello, hello, hello. You're watching the finale of Midspring Speedfling. I'm Yeswally1. This is Spyro into the Dragonfly.
Ouch!
And now I am entering my first minigame of the run. And by minigame I mean speedway. And this speedway is Bonsai Speedway. So all the speedways in this game have a time attack and a race. And in all three cases of a speedway I will be doing the time attack, then the race, because skipping text that way is a lot quicker because I can skip text before it even loads. And overall, I just want to be able to skip as many text boxes as fast as possible. And with the new hyper mashing technique, it also allows me to kind of cut out unnecessary text boxes, which we'll be seeing quite a lot of in the late game. And the speedways in this game are actually known for being ridiculously laggy. Like, this game has a lot of laggy spots, but the speedways are probably the worst. I should also mention that I'm playing this on the GameCube version. GameCube version is so much faster than the PS2 version, but it actually lags a lot more on the GameCube version, whereas the PS2 version just has a naturally low frame rate. Bandz I Speedway is the shortest of all the speedways, like, in terms of the time attack and the race. It's the shortest in both regards. Yeah, the race here, just race the flying Riptocs. Very easy race. Not really much to do, just try and go for the rings as fast as possible. I tend to take it a lot safer in runs, purely because the rings can be quite finicky in them registering, because they are visually 5 pixels bigger on the left and they're perfect on the right, so kudos to the makers for that. Like, that's actually pretty decent compared to Spyro 3's rings, which are a joke. So yeah, coming up to the last few rings now. 2 more rings, and then we'll be leaving Bandz I Speedway.
Hey, it's Yojimbo!
So yeah, that was Bandz I Speedway. So one thing that happens quite a lot with this game is when you load back into the main area, not everything actually gets loaded. So luckily in this run, everything actually got loaded, so I'll be able to do things quite quickly. Okay, I didn't actually expect that to work, but normally quite a lot of stuff doesn't actually load here, so I'm able to abuse some of the AI whilst it's actually inactive. But in that case I wasn't able to, but I got lucky with the Dragonfly pattern anyway. I'm also going to be gliding up down a lot of stairs. It's generally faster because you don't really want to be charging downward. Thank you, John and Carlos, thanks for the good luck. So yeah, that's a problem with the hyper mashing technique, is that you kinda can just completely deload dialogue, which happened there. Also, shoutouts to the only money-wise payment I'll be making in this run, and I won't even be getting the gems back. And also when I'm trying to go and do glides, I'm going to try not to hover as much as I possibly can. Like, that one looked a little bit sketchy, but because of ETD's physics being relatively soft, it's actually a very forgiving game in terms of putting Spyro up on a ledge. Another thing that I'll be doing from time to time is pivoting, just like that. Pivoting is a very, very quick way of actually like turning around and being able to realign Spyro to where you want to go.
Hey, it's Cinder!
So that Dragonfly there is particularly nasty sometimes, but I actually learned his pattern. He's actually like scripted to go a certain way, and I learned that, so he's easy now. And now I'm entering the second minigame. Each level has 2 minigames. This is the second. This is a tank training minigame. And the optimizations that I'll be doing here is basically just destroying tanks as fast as possible and sniping these buttons that you can see around the gates as fast as possible. I'm also going to be luring them to shoot down their barricades if they're behind one. But generally, this is how fast you will ever go. So yeah, just like that, I get in range of them, so they shoot down their barricade. So yeah, that shot went straight for the target, and that one. Jesus Christ. I've never had that many shots go for the... So unfortunately I missed that one early. You can hit all three of those tanks in the straight line there. I fired extremely early then. So yeah, button snipes should go a lot more like that. And one thing that I'm trying not to do is to not have this debris be the prominent thing on the camera, because there's a lot of layers to the debris and it actually lags the game quite severely. But yeah, just sniping all the tanks just like that before they get to fire. Finish off the challenge real quick.
Hey, it's Cub.
And from here on out, there are no more minigames in Dragonfly Dojo. So I'll be just doing the ending movement, as well as showing off a trick that will be used 2 times. And they'll be used in different ways. Yeah, like I said about like it not loading in stuff, we now have a sliding Spyro. And yeah, I just caught that gem while it was invisible in midair.
Hey, it's Cloudy. Hey, it's Roxy.
So yeah, Moxie, that's the main level objective done. I have one more Dragonfly to go. That was for me doing the flags that I've been doing around the level. The flags is the only Dragonfly that you're supposed to backtrack to. But because we have jump hovering, it's very easy to just kind of skip up to them and have them done early. One thing I did there is I triggered the kite before the baby dragon was
Hey,
ready,
it's Mooney.
so I was able to get all the gems in this area before he actually gave me the animation. And yeah, this is a good trick. That is the walk on air. It's basically, as it says, you just walk on the air. By bonking above a surface and then going neutral, you will end up just hanging in the air, and you'll just be able to walk on it. So I just use that to get to the ending area, collect up the last gems, and leave. So yeah, that was Dragonfly Dojo done quite well, actually. I was happy with that. And during the Dragonfly Dojo level, I got a rune. There are 4 of them, 3 for breaths and 1 for an ability. The one in Dragonfly Dojo is for the electric breath, and it's going to be my go-to breath for the rest of the game. I'm going to be doing a little bit of funky movement here, just to skip Spark's talking. I'll also have to do it later on, because he will still want to talk to me there, so overall it actually just, it saves time though, skipping him both times. And generally, doing this movement here is actually faster, but I tend not to do it just in case I have to like collect gems.
Hey, it's Konichi!
And I guess one thing I have been doing is I've been gliding. It wasn't really shown off all too much in Dragonfly Dojo, but I will like be gliding in order to get to Dragonflies. And that's because it just makes my bubble breath a little bit more effective and a little bit more compliant to catching the Dragonflies. So yeah. So after triggering the challenge text there and grabbing a few last gems, I am entering the second level, Crop Circle Country. Crop Circle Country is a farm, and it's being invaded by space reptiles. Real inventive. You know, that old cliche trope thing. Just why? And it is going to be the first showing of another tech, lag clipping. So using the flame breath, you can lag the game into not being able to update Spyro's position, and you can just go through gates and doors. And what this allows me to do is just, it allows me to just get straight through the main objective.
Hey, it's Fiona!
And it also unlocks 2 new Dragonflies in the form of lighting up ray guns and also herding a few cows in the second area. So overall it just stops me from having to And yeah, that looked like a mess there, but I got all the 1 gems, so it works. By gliding and using electric breath, I'm just extending it that slight bit further. Nice. This Dragonfly is kind of a trouble, Akira. It's in one of the most laggy areas of the main level in the game. So getting that Dragonfly early like that is very rewarding. Because it can be annoying to get the bubble breath to register. Now I'm just clearing up a bit more before I continue the cows. And I'm generally going to be trying to do stuff within challenges, basically. Like, challenges like this, I'm definitely going to be just doing stuff. Drop frames count as saving them? No. It just annoys everything. And here is the first instance of a momentum conservation jump. I'll be taking momentum out of a charge into the jump just so I could get that little bit extra distance, and also basically maximizing my glide just to make that jump. It's not the first instance of a momentum conservation jump in this level. There are two. There are two more. And they are quite a lot easier. Alright, phew.
Hey, it's Mitnick.
Luckily Mitnick just went in a straight line, so I was able to get him. And basically what momentum conservation is it's a key aspect of any platforming game. You just take momentum from a different state and you just extend a certain intended mechanic by using it. So yeah, herd of little cows, get another dragonfly.
Hey, it's
Easy
Cedric.
peasy. And just don't question this. So, some surfaces you can just head bash through. Which I do twice there. Just don't mind that. That's just completely normal for this game. Needless to say, it was fun rerouting that area. And now we're in the first minigame of Crop Circle Country. And it's a very short minigame. Because it's over. So yeah, that's a platform minigame. You're supposed to light up. Well, you're supposed to hit two buttons by head bashing them, and then you're supposed to light up
Hey, it's Rickshaw.
diodes. I don't do any of that. I just kind of use the head bashing to the floor technique and get high enough to hit the Riptok, whose hitbox stretches very far down. And everything loaded. What? So this area is generally very bad for loading everything in. But it loaded everything. And I guess I could say this is another side effect of the not loading things in, is that if you use a breath type, it actually gets extended into oblivion, basically. Like, you can use one breath for approximately 12 seconds, and you can kill quite a lot of things if there's a lot of things to kill. Oh wait, I'm only on blue. Huh. That's a problem. Or is it? Oh no, it's not. Yeah, I'm just gonna force Sparks through the floor. There we go. Seriously? These enemies are annoying because you don't get invincibility frames from them. I'm actually gonna kill this chicken. Generally I want to be on yellow Sparks just because he has the longest range at yellow. If I ever drop down to green, it's gonna be very saddening because his range is basically nothing. So yeah, we're coming up to the final area. There's going to be one mini game in the middle of it. And this is going to be another cow herding mini game. But this time I'm going to be in a UFO, so it's going to be a lot easier. Well, no, it won't. It's a mini game. I shouldn't say anything would get easier. Yeah. So cow herding minigame. It's the first instance of a double or a two-part minigame where you have to control a UFO and you have to herd cows into a fenced off area. This first one's very easy because you can just get all the cows uninhibited. However, in the second one, you will be chased by yellow UFOs. And controlling the UFO is kind of weird. Like, if you end up using like the grabber for too long, you won't be able to take momentum through it, which is what I want to try and do when it comes to putting them in the fence, which is why I'll be doing this at a different weird angle and just trying to take as much momentum through to the next cow. I'm just going to do that because then he won't hit me or won't get the cow. So yeah, first one's quite easy, second one can be very annoying.
Hey, it's Jingle.
Should the enemy attack cycle become desynced. Okay, yep. Okay. I got stuck on the fucking... Yeah, this is annoying. And I'm hitting the... I'm hitting nothing and it's annoying. No, let me have the fucking cow. Oh, sorry about that. There we go. I've never had it quite that bad before. That was just annoying because I got sniped.
Hey, it's J-Dubs.
Yeah, that's the second minigame, so now all that's left is 2 Dragonflies and a bunch of gems. And if any donations come in, you can like read them out during like load screens or something. Much like you'd be able to kind of know when it's actually happening. So I'm just going to do a full clear out of all the gems, and I'm going to be finishing off with the 2 Dragonflies.
Hey, it's Flavi.
I tend to be quite awful with the fireball power, but that was actually okay.
Hey, it's Testu.
And with that final Dragonfly, I can leave a level. Now all the fancy movement outside of Crop Circle was all just a setup for the 1 cycle here. It was also to trigger this minigame without being interrupted. So I can just go in a straight line. So yeah, now time for the electric breath challenge in the Dragon Realms. Light up 8 electric diodes, they're all around this area and farm area. I'm also going to be grabbing the Dragonfly during it.
Hey, it's Amy.
And then clearing up this beach. And then I'll be hitting the last diode. So where have we walked so far? We've walked on air, we've walked on land. Not really many more places for us to walk, is there? Well, I'm gonna walk underwater. So by abusing hitboxes there, I'm able to basically force myself under that hitbox, which forces me under the swim trigger, or the swim plane. And so I'm able to just kind of go underwater here, charging, instead of having swim, which is relatively uncontrollable. So it just makes that a bit easier. And now we're entering the 3rd level. Luau Island. Yeah, it's an island. That's all it is. It's an island and it's run by pigs. who are all on holiday. And there's some luau's around, but not many luau's. Just these scuba divers and T-Rexes and wooden tiki things. And yeah, this is swimming. It's really not good. And I've done my best to try and make the swimming sections look bearable. So grabbing up the second rune, there wasn't a rune in Crop Circle Country. This rune will give me Wing Shield and will be used only
Hey, it's
once.
Jerry.
Well, it will be used for one challenge. And that's it. Like, it's useless.
Ouch.
It's not grabbed in Nori Rip though, but it has to be grabbed in this one because there is a challenge that requires Wing Shield. Oh, that gem fell through the floor. Okay. Yeah, that enemy's gem likes to fall through the floor quite a lot. But yeah, there's not really much I can talk about the swimming. It's awful, and I try to make it as good as possible. What a bad position. Yeah, if anybody in chat has any like questions, I'll feel free to answer to the best of my ability. Not only just about like this game, maybe a bit about me, maybe a bit about like the Spyro series, in terms of like speedrunning and stuff.
Hey, it's Socrates.
So again, head bashing for the floor. Just to get back up to here a lot quicker. Now, you can skip this fireball challenge. I don't. Oh. Different. Purely because I don't feel like it's consistent. So I hit the 4 targets around here and it raises up the 2 platforms.
Hey, it's Homer.
And that gets me Homer. one gem there. Overall, the swimming's kind of annoying because I'm trying to grab gems during it. I'm not able to kind of just go through the whole entire swimming area in one broad stroke. I have to kind of turn around quite a bit. Yeah, I didn't think I got his gem. Oh, what? It was a random sparkle. What's the sparkle all about? Different?
Hey, it's Daisy.
Dragonfly in a good position. Back into swimming for a little bit, and this third arch going up into the Manta's challenge. Yeah, it has been a very long time since we've done a minigame, so quite a lot of gems in that loading screen. Very simple minigame, just get 11 Manta rays and then you're done. You have to get them before Hunter. As you can see, I'm kind of winning. Yeah, that was very nicely done.
Hey, it's Krishnamurti.
And that's all that there was, so just leave. It's a very short minigame. So yeah, getting a 10 gem for activating all 40 arches there. There's also another 10 gem for activating arches in this next area. I just really messed up my route for this area. That's fine. I can make this right. What is this game? This is Farland and the Dragonfly for the GameCube and PlayStation 2. Released in 2002. And this game is probably the pinnacle of gaming. By which I am lying. This game was not a pinnacle of gaming. But it's a pretty good game. Yeah.
Hey, it's Play-Doh.
Thanks for the good luck, Diamond Crafter. Like, I am reading the Midwest Speedfest chat, so again, if you have any questions, send it in there. I'm an idiot. Pepsi Man is the true pinnacle. That's why I like to kill him early, because his gem always falls down. Yep, so getting the end of level Dragonfly here. And then we only have 2 Dragonflies left.
Hey, it's Dill.
And they will be in the next minigame. And this next minigame isn't a fun one. Because it's a memory minigame. So yeah, it's a Simon minigame. It's gonna give you 2 patterns. One's gonna end in 6 inputs. One's gonna end in 9. And quite frankly, this is a very boring minigame. And these patterns are completely random, like I don't know this pattern. This has just been a really lucky pattern. Yeah, so that was the first challenge. It's quite a quick one. But now it's time for the second challenge where I have to remember up to 9 inputs.
Hey, it's Terrell.
And the pattern for this one does not have any correlation to what the pattern was in the first one. Hopefully we can get another input introduced into here. Thanks. So yeah, there we go.
Hey, it's Maverick.
And now I am going to be going back into the challenge. but I'm not going to be actually playing it, like, I'm just going to be going into the Atlas and leaving the level through the Atlas by warping. So a little bit of movement, hand in wing shield, and now we're entering the 4th level, Cloudnine. This level is one of the longer levels, and it's purely because it has a very long minigame and also a speedway. It's also just a very long level in general. So the main objective of this one is to hit up some ray guns. Throughout the level, which I'll be doing as well as collecting all the gems and the Dragonflies. I don't know what my camera was doing there, but it didn't make it. Why is my camera doing? There we go. The camera sometimes has like a random issue where it will just try and stay behind Spyro, making the game kind of a little bit uncomfortable. Apparently I missed the back one. But yeah, so it hits the ray gun, goes into the hourglass, and it's supposedly what keeps time flowing in this area. So all the bears are really tired because they don't know when to sleep. And without their hour clock, they're a bit lost. Because they don't know what time it is. If I had trusted myself and registered that that was the last gem up here, I would have been able to get onto this platform on an earlier cycle. But that's fine. And we're starting this level off with the Speedway. And this speedway in particular is extremely laggy. Like, it's quite difficult to do this one well, just because of how laggy it actually is. But hopefully I can like manage to pull off the route. This had a recent reroute which saved 10 seconds. It gets the flying bed riptops a lot earlier. So now I'm then going to be doing the cars, and then I'm going to be finishing up with the stars, which I only got one of earlier. God damn it. So yeah, missing a car is kind of annoying. But yeah, as you can see, the lag here is really off-putting. Because it's hard to control Spyro whilst the game is in slow-mo. But yeah, hopefully we can hopefully I missed a good car, because if I missed a good car then I can get in really quickly after this last stop. And yeah, here it comes. There we go.
Hey, it's Tashi's station.
And like a man's eye, you're gonna be doing the race. After the time attack. So this is the longest race, it's about 2.5 minutes, so if you want to read through any like donations or anything, feel free to use this time. Oh my. Well, that was 2 minutes lost. We're going through we're going through all this again. That's not frustrating at all. Yeah, no, how I was talking about the rings being perfect. Like, they are ridiculous. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that's kind of annoying. Alright, see you, hot coffee. Thanks for the good luck.
Hey, it's Grayson.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch much of this marathon just because I've been busy with the bingo tournament in Spyro 2. I've been doing quite a lot of work on that. Basically, I've been trying to just get that out the way. And we're into the bracket stages now, so it shouldn't be too long until it's over. Things loading this slowly here. I'm hoping I got all the gems outside Bandz I. Seriously? So, in Dragonfly Dojo, I used the walk on air in order to be able to progress to an area of the level in a convenient manner. I'm going to be using the walk on air for a different reason now. I'm going to be using the walk on air to trigger swim. So yeah. So what I just did is I triggered swim, just because then I can grab all of these gems here quite quickly, earlier. It just makes things a little bit more convenient later on, where I'm able to basically warp out of Puffy Palace instead of taking an extra. Instead of having to take an extra loading screen. But only if I don't miss a gem, which can still happen. Damn it. So I tried getting that 2 gem without triggering the Dragonfly, but I did, so it might be awkward. And also the first thief of the game. It's very easy thief. It's very slow thief. Which is lucky. I'll be needing the wand that he's just dropped. But not right now. But very soon. In like 15 seconds I'll be grabbing it. There we go. Now the inventory has 5 slots, but you'll never use all of those slots. No matter how hard you try, you will never be able to get all 5 slots filled. Well, at least in an efficient way. Like, you can obviously reserve keys for the locked chests that will be coming up later on. Oh, nice.
Hey, it's Savino.
Okay, triggering him wasn't actually a bad thing. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish off this area and then I'm gonna be moving on to the level. This is like the only like troublesome area in this level. Quite a lot of the level is linear. That area is certainly not. And yeah, that area just kind of loaded in before my eyes. I thought I missed that one gem then. The worst thing in this game is missing a 1 gem. Because it could be anywhere in any level. Especially a level that is quite late on called Who's Den. Because that level is quite infamous for missing gems. Okay, yeah, there isn't anything. That's not how you're supposed to do that platform, but I ended up just doing it like that. It was faster. I missed the early cycle because I wasn't sure about myself. But luckily with that platform you can kind of just skip it anyway. Like you can kind of just get on it halfway up and then just do a jump hover. A jump glide hover. And you'll end up being able to...
Hey, it's Ice Boy!
Get to the ray gun. Luckily, Spartus in this game is quite hyperactive at yellow. Like, he's very easy to get to collect gems. So I'm not going to be doing the hyper mashing here just because of how much this tech box here can glitch out.
Hey, it's Takahiro!
And it ends up basically losing time. Like, he was going to give me 2 text boxes there, but he didn't even give me the first, so it's very easy to kind of not trigger dialogue. And hence you won't get the rewards for doing that, which was the Dragonfly Takahiro. Right, yeah. So yeah, hitting the last ray gun, we'll get another Dragonfly for this. And we get Rick. So I'm just going to do a little bit of silly movement here just because then I can load in this area a bit better. Let's try again. Let's try loading this area in. There we go. This area doesn't want to load sometimes, which is annoying. I've tried doing this area without it being loaded. Needless to say, it didn't go very well. Yes, that's all the gems, which means that I will be able to warp out of Puffy Palace, which is the minigame coming up. There's still 2 Dragonflies left in here, so I gotta go grab those.
Ouch! Hey, it's
Margaret and Goose. Which might be an annoyance because okay.
Hey, it's Goose.
But now that I have got Goose, I will be going up the ladder, doing a bit more platforming, and we'll be entering Puffy Palace. Unless it drops my A input, then we're gonna have a bit more of a problem there. But yeah, so we got a minigame at the start of the level and a minigame at the end of the level. So that's kind of fun. And I suck at this minigame. I actually suck at this minigame. So many people can do this minigame better than me. It's very simple, you just go around in circles destroying the warships before they destroy the Puffy Palace. You generally can do this quite easily, you have quite a lot of time to do this. My PB is a 2:46.02, which is the world record by 21 minutes. Yeah, just finishing off the warships now. There we go. And again, like I did in the WoW, I'm gonna be starting the challenge, but I'm gonna be warping out. So now I have done half of the game. Half the game is done. So what I'm going to be attempting now is going to be a pretty difficult one cycle. we'll do that after handing in the last rune, which is for the Ice Breath, which I won't be using for a while. So now we got Hunter teaching us how to jump halfway through the game. You know, that's what everybody wanted. Then we got the Flame Challenge. And the Flame Challenge is kind of difficult because I'm going to be grabbing quite a lot of gems during it, and that takes up a lot of time. Unfortunately, if you look on SRCom, you won't see the 307 by K-Lady, purely because it was done on emulator and was actually removed from the boards. But I still consider it the second place time because it actually had effort put into it. Yeah, so just barely making that one cycle. That route was found by me and it saves quite a lot of time in this category.
Hey, it's G!
It also led to basically a change in the entire level order, basically. There was always a lot of question about where we can put this level. Where does this level go? Most people put it at the end. Jumpy Luff, who was a runner for this back in 2014, he put this early, but he didn't really have a reason to. However, I found that route and it actually just lined up so well in order to give me that route. So it's time for Honey Marsh, one of my favourite levels. It's quite fast paced, it's got a lot of gems in tight places, and I got too close to the guy. Luckily he didn't really waste too much of my time, because I kind of just skipped everything that he was saying. Thanks Hypermasher. But yeah, so the main objective of this level is to destroy some tanks, which are making a lot of noise, because they don't like noise here. They've had too many noise complaints. And the weird thing about this level is that it has a gem, or well, it has a vase that can randomly spawn a gem in 2 different locations. So hopefully I get it in its true location, which is where the vase is. If I don't, then... Okay, yeah, I got it in its true location. Let's go. On emulator, that's apparently like a consistent thing, but on console it is a random element. And it can cost you a lot of time because it can give you a missed gem. and generally you won't know what your misgem is.
Hey, it's duckweed.
These enemies' gems are quite annoying because they don't really come out where they are. It comes out about like 10 inches above them.
Hey, it's Suzuki.
The second Dragonfly, Suzuki, and this level is just extremely short. Like, that's why it's my favourite. Everything is kind of on the path. It's not overly spaced out. Like, there are a few things that I do have to go out of my way for.
Hey, it's Russell Tim.
Like this Dragonfly and the key to the chest. There's also a bottle there. I never realised there was a butterfly jar there. But yeah, so entering the first minigame, which is a tank minigame and is also the hardest minigame in this game. The reason why it's so hard is because the ending section is an auto-scroller, and if you miss something you cannot really go back for it. Plus the first area is quite annoying because you kind of need to do damage limitation. Like, those two enemies there are quite easy because you've got a little auto-scroller and you can take them from afar, but once you get into this area you're kind of thrown straight in. But yeah, so this minigame is to destroy all the bees. Their shots go in slow-mo. They're also very hard to see. There we go. And now we're on to the auto-scroller section. Is World Record Pace dead yet? Maybe not, maybe so. Like, the failure in Rainbow Speedway was 2.5 minutes. So it might be. But I am definitely going to be saving a lot of time here over my world record because my world record had a Dragonfly softlock. And there. Finishing the challenge with 44 seconds. Like, the time isn't the problem, it's the enemies
Hey, it's
in
Bliskin.
the early thing because they can just kind of stun lock you. Yeah. So that was the last tank minigame. There's gonna be no more tanks. And going back into the level now. Where we're going to be finishing up this middle area. Like, I left a few things behind because I can get them now. I also went back into the minigame then. That was going to be pretty bad. But yeah, just gonna be going through the level, rounding stuff up. So one gem just came through that platform, by the way. There's a 1 gem underneath that platform. There's also a 2 gem underneath a platform near that. Luckily, being on yellow spots, those gems are completely free.
Hey, it's Swan!
Zwan. And now we're heading into the second to last area of this level. This is where the end of level Dragonfly is, for destroying all the factories. There we go. And I felt bad for Head Bash, so I just gave it a use there. I don't think that's actually faster, but whatever.
Hey, it's Gory!
It's a swag strat and I like it. And that was Tim.
Hey, it's Tim!
So that's a thing that's been happening with a few Dragonflies. It's kind of just funny just to see it. And now it's time for one of the more annoying minigames. It's quite a simple minigame. But because Spyro tends to be quite stubborn about picking up a rock, I kind of have to do a little bit of manipulation and stuff. Oh. Generally just doing that, or just jumping down from here. Getting that guy to fire as well also sometimes works. Like, there's just a whole bunch of random things that I can do just to give myself a higher chance of hitting or picking up a rock. Yeah, that's probably one of the worst rock like piles I've ever had for a while. And that just missed somehow. This time I'm actually gonna watch it. There we go.
Hey, it's
And we get
Lily!
Lily, the third to last Dragonfly of this level.
Ouch! Ouch!
So again, I'm not gonna hyper mash this because I can end up like just deloading dialogue and I get nowhere.
Hey, it's
But
Kaka!
for this one, I'm gonna then start hyper mashing. It stops an entire like dialogue happening now.
Ouch!
And entering the second minigame, which is a slide minigame. Quite a simple slide minigame, just gotta beat the bee. The bee is very slow, though. Like, hey man, bye. Just like that, I'm ahead of the bee by so much. As we're taking this path. And I'm gonna try and keep this amount of speed up as much as I possibly can. Like, I want to just try and make sure that I keep moving along steadily. Try not to get my jumps cut like that. Like, that tends to happen quite a lot. This is also one of the better pieces of music in this game. Like, music that kind of expresses itself is pretty good music in this game. There's not really much music that does that in this game. It's generally quite quiet. Yeah, so
Hey, it's
get
Clubtail.
Clubtail from Two-Eyed Willy, and then leave. And then all we have to do is collect up a few extra little gems at the end of the level here, and then I'll be out of the level, and we will have 3 levels left. So I'm always a bit too scared to just go straight into the area.
Youch!
Yeah, that's why.
Youch! Youch! Youch!
That's unfortunate. Even though I really should go into the area, just straight forward to the gems. I tend to be quite scared of the dropped input. But that's only if you die, not when you're loading in. Which I tend to forget. And because that's the last gem, I get to leave the level. Now, normally I would have warped out, but because of this cutscene, it takes me back to the middle of Dragon Realms. So, I can just carry on from here and just exit the level like normal. I guess it's needless to say, I don't intend on dying like ever in this game. But I end up stockpiling lives just by accident. And what I'm doing now is I'm basically gonna collect a few things here,
Fluffy.
just because then I can have a safe 1 cycle later on. and have that one cycle also be quite fast. I guess that's another thing that I should go over, is hitting enemies just so then they're ready to talk to me. Well, not enemies,
Hey,
hitting
Sandra.
NPCs. Like, friendlies, basically. Because then they can talk to me, it overrides their welcome animation. But yeah, with quite a bit of homeworld movement done, I'm now entering Monkey Monastery. So Monkey Monastery is the only icy level of this game.
Ouch!
So
Hey,
that's a
it's Homie!
very annoying Dragonfly. And these enemies here, the mammoths, they're quite annoying because I can't use electric breath on them.
Ouch! Hey, it's Damsel!
Catching Damsel after doing a live clip through that door. Actually takes a bit of work to persuade the camera to come through the door. Like, it will just end up stuck inside it sometimes. There we go. And I had to hit both vases outside there, because else they don't load in, and I end up just phasing through it. And welcome to the first minigame, the ice slide. So I'm going to be doing a different route for this first one, because I have 10 extra seconds. I'm going to be going down this right path instead of the left. I won't be grabbing as much time, but I will be saving time because this path is shorter. And by just grabbing up these gates here, and then this free gate over here, I now have enough time to finish the slide quite comfortably. But yeah, got a few seconds left on that.
Hey, it's
I get some cube. And now we've got to do the slide again, but with 10 less seconds to start. So I will be taking the left path just because it gives me a lot of time. gates here. 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. That other one that I missed there was another 3. And then from here I'm just going to be copying what I did in Ice Slide 1. I'm also going to grab this one though because I missed the 3 up in that left path. Yeah, I just finished that one at about the same time.
It's dancing. Hey, it's Shadow.
I don't know why it gives me such an awful camera angle here. Like, it's just wanting to showcase shadows. It's just like, hey man, I'm just gonna put the camera off the cliff. I hope that's fine. Like, that was weird in terms of the movement, but that worked. That's what happens when I over-menu my breaths. Like that. And this is also the first level that uses cannons that you can control, not like the one in Luau where you just flame it and it hits the target, giving you a Dragonfly. Like, you can control this cannon and fire it and stuff. Because you need to hit ice blocks, and for these two cannons in this area, also some birds, and that'll get you another Dragonfly. So the main level objective is to rescue the Yetis, I'd guess, because there isn't really a Dragonfly given to you at the end of the level. It's kind of given to you in the middle of the level.
Hey, it's Gaku.
Yeah, kill those birds and you get Gaku. And that's a nice block that you're supposed to destroy with a firework rocket, the only firework rocket in the game, but you can just glide around it. It's actually kind of funny. Now it's time for the second minigame. And this is, again, this is one of the faster ones. This is a very, very fast minigame. And it's to destroy 20 Riptok factories with your Spitfire. So I'm just gonna be like holding B, spamming A, and taking names, basically. I'm gonna be slowing down a bit here just to then line up a few shots. And then around. And there. Done. Now, this minigame is also quite special in the fact that you can actually get gems during it, but it wasn't intended for you to get gems. So like you can actually come out of that level with like 2 gems and stuff. So, second chest, I had one in Honey Marsh, one in Monkey Monastery, and then there's one in Feast Den and one in Jurassic Jungle.
Hey, it's Young.
The last 4 levels all have one of these chests, which gives you a Dragonfly. Now, I don't know what it is about this area, but it has a very good tendency to just drop inputs, so I have to kind of spam my inputs a little bit, just to make sure that I don't end up missing like a glide, because it's cost me many deaths in this category though, and it's quite a big bit of time save.
Ouch.
Dragon vs Snowball. Why does Snowball always win? And coming up now is the first use of the Ice Breath, and it's not even to do anything but freeze an NPC, because now he won't talk to me. Grabbing that life because I just want to be on yellow. Like, I don't want to be on anything lower than yellow. Oh. That's bad. Oh. Right. Okay. That's fine. Is it worth me doing anything here right now? I've ended up missing a Yeti, unfortunately, so I'm actually going to do a little bit of a backup. I'm kind of going to have to make this backup up. My apologies for being an absolute idiot. Because I know which Yeti it was that I missed. It's the one right there. So I'm going to rescue this Yeti, and then I'm going to Death Abuse. And then the Zoe here is going to be quite convenient for getting back to this area. There we go. I made that work quite nicely. The only problem is now I can't really be sure if I've got all the gems. Hopefully I do.
Ouch!
Right. Nice.
Hey, it's Holly.
So that dragonfly can be quite awkward because it's on ice. And then I've got some gems left over there on the stairs, so I'll have to go and grab those.
Hey, it's Jewel Wing.
So yeah, hopefully my backup ended up working quite well. There we go. So yeah, that was a mistake on my part. I don't think I've ever actually done that before. But at least I remedied it quite well. And coming up shortly is one of the most
Hey,
feared
it's
levels
Manta.
in this speedrun. Thieves' Den. It's very notorious for being a level where you can miss a lot of gems. So hopefully I won't be missing a lot of gems. Hopefully I won't be missing any gems. Thieves' Den is exactly what it is. It's a den for thieves. Your friends are the thieves. But they're pretty awful thieves because they only steal 1s and 2s. They don't really steal 10s and 5s and 25s. This level has 680 gems that are worth 1 or 2. It also has the only use for windshield. And Sparks didn't want that gem. So the technique for windshield is to face away. Like, that's how you get the most accurate results. Whew, that was close. I don't know why it's slowly facing away with the camera. Weird. I don't know what my camera's been doing this whole run. It's been like acting weird. I think I might have nudged like the control stick or something. I doubt I have, because I would be having a lot worse effects. But I'll make do. So that mimic gem there could be quite annoying because you can knock him down into the lower area. And you could possibly miss that. I'm not close enough. Right, there we go. And when I'm using the windshield, I want to open up my inventory first, or else I'll be changing my breath. And if I change my breath, I will have to then cycle back through to electric breath. I just completely I just completely missed out that route. That was fun. That's fine. So getting our first Dragonfly of this
Hey,
level
it's Charlie.
quite far in. It's kind of stupid how far away the first Dragonfly is, but after that it's actually kind of fast to get to your next Dragonflies. Like, it throws a few Dragonflies just straight at you. If you can get past all of the gems, that is. First minigame of Thieves' Den is a platforming minigame. It's the last platforming minigame, and I will not even be doing this one normally. I will be skipping the second part of it. The first is the carousel of platforms. You just hit these platforms, then it sends you over to the rest of the platforming area. But that's what I'm going to be skipping because it's a complete mess in that area. Like, in order to lower the platform for the Wizard Riptop, you have to figure out that maze. It's not very fun. I've done it before. But yeah, if I just glide underneath this platform, electrocute and head bash, well, in that case all I needed to do was hover. You hit the Riptop and your challenge
Hey,
is
it's
done.
Morpheus.
And that's the first minigame of Thieves' Den. That took a while. I figured the shot got lost somewhere in the middle then, but whatever. This Dragonfly's annoying, but I tend to get him at a good time. Or it can just completely elude me.
Hey, it's Jordan.
So I'm just gonna kill this wizard now. There we go. Why isn't that killing me? Right, there we go, that worked. And here's the second minigame. It's the last Speedway, last minigame of Feast Den. And yeah, it's Oasis Speedway. Now, Oasis Speedway actually has a PAL GameCube exclusive thing. So in the time attack, there's going to be blue stars. On NTSCU and PS2, there are no blue stars in the time attack. You are basically left to just use normal flying. However, on PAL GameCube, you're able to use the blue stars from the base. Seriously? I guess I'm using this star now then. I don't normally use this star. I don't normally miss 2 doubles. So I actually kind of extended the boost duration there by doing that little charge. I basically had so much speed then at that point. That was actually not a bad Oasis time attack, all things considered. Like, it wasn't great, but it worked.
Hey, it's Copper Top.
And now the race. So this race is actually kind of difficult. It's quite a tight race. But overall, it ends up being quite easy if you know where all the blue stars are. Got these 2 here, these early ones. And you generally want to remember this tunnel here. Like, this gives you a lot of speed and it's a very good shortcut. And then all the way over here behind the lighthouse, you want to use that star. Yeah, race just like any other race. Kinda boring. Not really much to say. You do 3 laps. Woohoo. And I've only just taken second and I'm in the 3rd lap. Oh no, what am I going to do? Because look, there goes first. He's so far ahead. He's not that far ahead. He's quite close actually. The boost on those guys is nowhere near as big as yours. So yeah, just kind of overtook pretty casually. Getting a 203 there, that's about normal.
Hey, it's Neo.
It's just Neo. From here, all it is gem collecting, killing the wizard Riptox, and Dragonfly collecting. Like, I'm pretty sure the reason why the minigames are so close together is purely because then they can get away with the whole hiding one of the minigames away. Thing, because it's just like, oh, the minigame was right here, there can't be another minigame nearby. Generally you have one early minigame and you then have one late minigame. But in this case you have two early minigames. And generally if you're missing like a Dragonfly and a few gems, like check there. Like, you tend to miss that quite a lot. You tend to miss that on your first like run through. It might not be too obvious that there is the break wall there. Last bit of swimming in the game. How many gems do you need for 100%? Yeah, you need all of them. You need all 7,000 gems. All 7,000 gems and 90 Dragonflies. Which means that I have 1,043 gems left to go. Because I still have the 200 from when I paid money bags the one and only time. That was such a long time ago. No. There is no gem requirement for any percent, but for any percent already ripped though, it's 70% of all the game, which equals out to about 4,350 gems and 71 Dragonflies. So unfortunately I'm not that mimic off, which meant that I had to go all the way around again. Which sucks. Got one wizard left, and then we'll be getting the Dragonfly at the end of the level. Damn. That almost worked. that mimic I just kind of pushed off the edge. Like if a gem falls into a void area, it's automatically given to you.
Ouch!
I want the gem. There we go. Just collect all of them in any version. Good advice.
Hey, it's Martin.
3+ hours? What the hell? How slow do you want to go?
Hey, it's Atsumi.
Yeah, so we've got 3 more Dragonflies in this level. No clue how many more gems. That's anybody's guess. Have I got all the gems or not? Will be a question that is answered within the next 5 minutes or so. No, god damn it. So this thief is kind of stupid. Like, he points into the platform.
Hey, it's Mickey.
If anybody actually ends up doing that... Oh, bye to jump. If anybody actually does that Kupo craft... then I want to give them a high five. So that there was quite a lot of blind movement then. That area is so dark. And now we've got one last
Hey, it's
Dragonfly
Manta.
in the chest. After completely clearing out these last few areas.
Ouch!
At that point, you'd be submitted to a different category because you'll be doing a different Ripto fight than any percent or any percent early any percent no early Ripto. Sorry, I just completely ate all my words there. It's like super early for me. I didn't really sleep too much. That wasn't the breath I wanted. Then again, I was doing the ice challenge, so it makes sense. Yeah, coming around to the ending of she's done. I don't have all the gems. No.
Hey, it's Racket.
I think it's gonna be the end. think it's near the end, so we'll have to hope and pray. There it is. That's what happens when you make your levels too dark, because I couldn't see that. Wait. God damn it. I missed gems category. Yeah, no. Why is that a thing? Like, go away, you whirlwind. Alright. Now we've got the one gem. So yeah, one level left. I don't really know what kind of pace this is. So it'll be interesting to see what this run ends up getting now. Like, it's not gonna be a PB. My PB doesn't have this much to save. I'm definitely retiming it for the best segs though. I'll have to do that at some point. So that's Breath Challenge in Dragon Realms. Ice Challenge, and we collected quite a lot in this area here, so one cycling this is going to be super easy.
Hey, it's Howie!
And no missing gems in the Dragon Realms.
Ouch!
Right, so now it's time to go into Jurassic Jungle, and it's as clear as its name. It's a jungle. It has dinosaurs. They're robots. It has natural dinosaurs and robot dinosaurs. The main mission objective is to kill all the natural dinosaurs. This level is special, by the way, in the fact that it has too many gems compared to how many it should have. So I'm leaving it behind quite a few gems. And it's purely because I'm going to be coming back to this area. Because the chest is just there, and the key is later on in the level. He's gonna talk to me, isn't he? Oh no, I got past him. Not talking to that mouse. So first Dragonfly is a pattern game. You have to work out what the pattern is to release the Dragonfly. It's a very simple pattern. Red, green, blue, purple, yellow. And I routed this little bit around this minigame, and it ended up working really well.
Hey, it's Scarlet.
That's a way to get the Dragonfly. It's not the way I like to do it, but it's the way that it worked. Oh, for God's sake. When I managed to keep the Dragonfly in the right place, but I ended up messing up anyway. Could I not have Ice Breath selected? In theory, those two baskets there are the ones that I should root out. But I haven't like looked into what I can miss. But yeah, so 290, meaning that there's 310 gems left in this level. But there's about 319 that's left for me to collect. Or something stupid, like... There's too many gems. But either way, first minigame, Volcano Slide, and has the best music. It's also pretty damn hard. But that's because I do really stupid strats. And there we got Exorcism Spyro. There we go.
Hey, it's Saji.
You know, Spyro, that's how you're supposed to look, is it? Oh, no. Yeah, that was the Exorcism Spyro. which is a glitch that can happen in Monkey Monastery, Hunky Marsh, Honey Marsh, and there. So going back to what I said in Crop Circle Country, if things don't load, you can basically extend your electric breath. And because of that, you can end up hitting multiple things. So in that case, I managed to hit 2 of the diodes with only 1 breath. Even though the breath wasn't even loaded. So we have to accept this challenge before doing anything, because else we'll get stuck on the stairs trying to talk to this guy. This is the first use of the invincibility part, and it's also the 4th use for ice breath.
Hey, it's Mick!
In this run. So you have to kill these guys. In order to kill them, you need to use the ice breath. And then they'll drop a chemical bottle that this mouse was using. There are 7 of them. And you have to grab them all before entering an area, or else you will have to get all of these guys again. And if you kill these guys after doing a minigame area, and you grab a bottle after doing their challenge again, after doing all of them, you'll also have to do them all again. So it's kind of key that I get every single bottle before doing a minigame area. Which makes this very convenient, because it's gonna spit me out at a minigame area. So, the final minigame area of the entire game. So this area is the Tower of Extremely Dangerous Heights, or in my words, the Massive Phallic Object. So yeah, it's a tower with ladders. You just have to get to the top. Don't die. It's easy. I don't know Diamond. I'm not looking at a timer. It should still sub 250 possibly. No. What is this? So that's never happened. Shut up, you annoying mouse.
Right now you're at 237.
Oh. Well, this could world record. I think.
Awesome.
That's right, prolets. We had to have a that's never happened before trademark.
Hey, it's Warren.
Um, 237. Actually, yeah, maybe not. It depends if I get like an extremely good Ripto fight. We just had to tell him, didn't we? Like, this is definitely gonna be a sub 250, but I think the only way that this is actually gonna be a world record is if I get good RNG in the final boss. You better world record to make it for Gooby not getting world record in DDR. Wow. What a scrub. I can't imagine not getting a world record in Dance Dance Revolution.
Hey, it's Jason.
Less than 100 gems left. Oh, nice. Hey, Sinner. How are you? Oh. Talk to him.
Hey, it's Bonky.
So,
Hey,
second to
Wonky.
last Dragonfly of the game. Last Dragonfly is the one that's in the chest. Hey look, there's a basket there. Actually, I'm gonna grab that basket, I've skipped too many gems. Okay, yeah, I was skipping way too many gems. But that's fine. So yeah, there's only 16 more gems, yeah. There's only 7 more gems, yeah. Bye, gem. So, about that 5 gem we left earlier. Where is it? That's what happens when you put too many gems in your game. Or in your level. But yep, so this is the last Dragonfly. Jean-Marc.
Hey, it's Jean-Marc.
Then I have to wait for the level complete to happen. And now, we warp back to Dragon Realms, collect the last 3 gems, and then we're doing the Ripto fight. So what's the timer at right now? I need to know how good of an RNG phase I would need to possibly get world record.
It's 2:42:03.
I would need a mediocre one then, I think. So now we have 7,000 gems and 90 dragonflies. We're going into the last boss of the marathon, the last boss of the game, Ripto. This fight has 3 phases. It has a fire phase, an ice phase, and an electric phase. The fire phase and the ice phase are scripted. The electric phase is RNG.
Pray to RNGesus.
Right, phase 1 over. Time for phase 2. Ripto decides it's time to step up the game. He's going to increase his height by double, and he's gonna make a firewall. Yeah, I have ice breath. You can tell that Ripto didn't really think about this fight too well. He thought, yeah, let's... That's fine. And time for phase 3, the RNG phase. Ripto is going to get bigger, and he's going to turn into a woke male. And now it's all down to RNG what happens. I need to hit him 5 times. There's 1. 2. There we go. So if he doesn't get his club stuck, he's gonna do 3 homing attacks. Just gotta dodge them, and then he'll do a slam attack. 3. What is this RNG? What is this RNG? That's 4. Alright, I just need 1 hit. And then this is done. And time.
2:44:54.
Wow. So without that mess up in Rainbow Speedway, that would have been a 2:42. And that missing gem in Thieves' Den cost me about a minute and a half, plus the mimic falling down. Yeah, that could have been an easy sub 240.
Again! My plans were so perfect. Twice I put my faith
Yeah,
in
that's a
this
world
staff,
record, and I have to
twice it
retime
has
everything
failed
now.
me. Dragons, dragonflies, I can't win. I can't win!
Well, that's what you get for playing with your little sticks. Silly Ripto. Don't you know
Congratulations,
magic and
dude.
dinosaurs don't mix?
Thank you.
You haven't heard the last of me, you little demon. I'll be back, and you'll be sorry. Every last one of
So
you
yeah, I
will
lost
be
2
sorry.
minutes 30 in Rainbow
Yeah, I
Speedway,
bet.
so that would have given me a 241. Then what happened in Thieves' Den would have given me sub 240. Damn.
Well, as normal as fairy tales go anyway, pal. I'll tell you what though, guys. We
I
won't
gotta
just
say, it's
stand
always
by
a
and let
pleasure
Ripto
having you
lead
on
this
here,
for the baby
Yeswally1.
dragons.
You probably recognize my voice by now.
Yeah.
Right, Sparks. Or the Dragonflies.
Well, everything is finally back
Back
to
to
normal.
Isn't it, Spyro? Wink. You get to finish a marathon with a wink. But yeah, so that's Midwest Speedfest. I was the finale.
It's always a great finale,
Thanks,
gotta say.
thanks to all of the runners from in Midwest Speedfest. Thanks to Rocket and the other hosts and everything, and the other staff, and anybody who basically just did something for this, and anybody who donated. Like, what? How many donations did we have in the end? $322.
Woo!
Yeah, I don't think there's anything more to be said. If you want
Yeah.
to do like your outro or something.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take it from here real quick. Just gonna cover some stuff. Let's see. So yep, as we saw here, the end total is $322 raised for Conservation International. And shout outs to all of our runners, everyone local, and all of our online streamers for all of our, well, in the Midwest nighttime runs. Works really well for having those. Shout outs to Yeswally1 here. Another world record to add to the list for this marathon, which is awesome. And yeah, that about tidies up the marathon here. So thank you, everyone that donated and all those that have watched. It's been a lot of fun. And we're going to go ahead and cut stream in a little bit here. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good one. Bye.